All right.
Now that I'm back home, that's all I really got going for me.
I think we are live. According to the old YouTubes, I got the
What's
old
going on?
notification. Let's go. Alrighty, guys. Well,
What's up, guys?
we're a
We're
little.
here.
Shut the fuck up. Okay. I probably shouldn't say that in the first 5 minutes of this, but
Well, it was after 7 seconds. I think that's all that matters.
is it 7 seconds? I don't know if
You
it
Yeah,
was
can't
seven
curse
literally.
the first
seconds.
7 seconds.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
not supposed to.
yeah. Seven.
Um,
I'm leaving this out
it's
the
a good
gate.
start.
I didn't say shit. Oh yeah, now I did.
Ah!
But I didn't at the beginning. I didn't. That was Dad.
So what I'm gonna do
Did
is
that.
I'm just gonna play some of the fun that they had over in the LZ World Tour because they had a whole lot of it,
That's
and
cool.
it was a good time. Yeah, they did some team drift comps and stuff, and
I think they were in the Wayne too.
it well, so the first day was a little bit more dry. So they had some dry runs on the first day, but yeah, the second day was pretty wet, I
Look at that,
believe.
4-car tandem, and nobody ran into each other.
Nice. Oh
Yeah,
God.
they actually did have a crash in one of their team tandems. It was pretty funny
Well,
actually.
all right. I mean, a victory
Uh,
celebration, 4-car victory celebration. Nobody ran into each other.
Oh yeah. Also, I need a poll uh idea to throw in the chat.
okay.
Whose dong is bigger, Sarah or mine?
Let's go, dude.
I mean,
I don't know.
I
I'll
don't
keep
know if
it
you want that
hanging,
question
baby.
answered.
I keep that shit hanging.
This is a great start.
back to Nate's original. Is it cold in here
They
or?
want some fire, all of us. Fire the interns.
We have started the degeneracy already. Alrighty. Well, I mean, the first topic today. What's up, Malik? And I guess we can just start with it. Is the LZ World Tour? Um, I don't know if you able to watch it much, Sarah. I know Herbie was busy, but I had a
Kept the
lot of
radio on.
fun watching this. It not so basically. And to explain the LZ World Tour to people that don't know, it's not really it's like a big influencer, big name driver hangout YouTuber session basically. There's no real stakes, I would say. I mean, I think if you win you get something, maybe a steering wheel from Kanzai and some little bips and bobs, but like you don't do it to win. You do it to like hang out with the fans and really I just kind of like these events bring tons of people. Like I don't know if it was like 10,000, but like at least a couple thousand people all show up. I mean, look at the stands; they're packed. So all these people are here just to hang out and see YouTubers and see their favorite streamers and stuff. And so it really creates this unique vibe that's not really I don't think is replicated anywhere else because they do the whole competition thing and they do the qualifying and the basics, but again, it's very not serious. And everyone just kind of goes with the flow of whatever happens. Like if your car breaks, you can jump in someone else's car and drive their car for your battle. Um, like there's they do everything to put on a show. I think for them, their number one priority is show first, and
Mm-hmm.
then rules and regulations, all that kind of gets thrown out the window for whatever's best for the show, you know. And so what LZ World Tour does is they try a whole bunch of different things. Like for the example of this event, they had a team tandem competition, which is what we got playing right now, which was a lot of fun. You know, it's not like a final bout, but it's something different to throw on and kind of show people some different elements of drifting that maybe they don't know about. They had just like a regular like rev off thing, which is kind of I think kind of silly, but like it's something different. And some of these drift cars sound pretty nuts. They also had like little I don't. It's gonna be hard to find just because their live streams are so dang long. But they
Mm-hmm.
had this like little kid doing donuts in this toy car. He was like 7 or 8.
Neat.
Um, Wow, one of the cars was sitting broken on the track. They had all kinds of like different what's the word, like fantasy battles, where they would just put together like cool battles that you would just love to see at the track and then go run them. They had battles between boyfriend and girlfriend where the girlfriend won in every single one of the battles. So that was pretty funny. Like they had like LZ and Colette drive, and Colette won, and then
Neat.
it was it's Jess. I don't know who Jess is, but and then her I think it was her husband drove, and Jess won also, and then there who else's girl drives? Oh yeah, James Dean and Queen Bee also drove,
Yeah.
and Queen Bee won obviously. So and
Wow.
that was fan voted, by the way. That was like whoever cheered the loudest, and of course the
Yeah.
lady
I
always
mean, no
got the win.
shade. Like, she can wheel. So can
Yeah.
She
Colette.
can. Yeah, they
Yeah.
both can.
Yeah, Colette was driving Ryuse's S15 there, which is kind of that had to be kind of difficult for her, but she made it work.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, you just look at some of the drivers here. I mean, they're all big name, like Bagsy and Dwayne McKeever, the Shanahans, like they're all big name drivers. Lori Heinonen, and then they'll have a couple like Irish guys that are kind of local to them that they also like to promote. But like, it was just a really fun, laid back event, and it was just something to throw on in the TV this weekend that I really appreciated. And they did their best to kind of keep things rolling. Like Jacob and who's the announcer that does Drift Masters, and I can't remember
Dave.
his name right now.
Dave.
No,
Right
not
there, he's.
well. No,
I
no,
was
the other
gonna
one.
say he's a-
I don't
don't
know,
know.
Dave.
I forget the other guy's name at this moment. What's up, Phil? Um, and they did a really good job of just kind of making fun of a lot of things, and like, like this is the Jess person. I don't know her personally, but like, she was the one. Her husband was also driving, but oh yeah, it's Ian. That's right.
I was just going to say
So
the chat is saying it's Ian. Thank you,
yeah,
chat.
yeah. And he, for
What's up,
example,
Phil?
when they had the um, battles between husband and wife, like they were making like, okay, this is for who gets to clean the kitchen this week. Like this is like just fun jokes. And if the guy wins, then they're probably going to be sleeping on the couch for the next week. Stuff like that. It's just it makes you have fun, and I just loved it. And not all of their gimmicks worked. Like some of them are kind of like okay, kind of boring. Like they had Jimmy Oaks standing in a cone with a famous 8.6 like doing donuts around him. I was like, okay, this is kind of silly, but like
Yeah.
It's better than nothing.
they always had something going on the screen. And let's just see how
Yeah.
long is this. This is a 4.5 hour stream. They had like I think one or two breaks in it. But for the most part, they had all kinds of stuff going. As Malik said, his highlight was the super lap qualifying,
Oh,
which usually I hate
done.
qualifying. But the cool thing, so for starters, qualifying, everyone qualified. There was no like not qualifying. So they just had fun with it. Like everyone was just throwing backwards entries into basically Mondello, which is sketchy as it is. And so it was just super fun to watch. You had again your
What makes it different from regular
Ah,
qualifying? What makes
Clark.
it like super lap qualifying? I didn't
Yeah, I
get to
saw.
watch.
Neither that. I saw Malik mention super lap qualifying runs between Connor and James Dean.
it's just regular qualifying, but it was more like they weren't trying, like obviously you're trying to hit the zones, but you're trying to throw like insane angle and kind of showing off the skill that you can do.
Like the people's qualifying, basically.
Yeah, like it's not super serious.
So the criteria of which they were judging was how sick it was.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they probably had like it was like regular judges. I think it was one of the Driftmaster judges, and then Chelsea. I'm trying to find, is this day
Check
two? Oh, this
the
is day
comments
one. Okay.
if you're looking for something serious.
I was looking in
no.
the wrong day. Okay, so here's the it might be, I'm just looking for day one, the anyone has a timestamp on when those were, because they were super fun to
Check
watch.
check comments.
On
No,
the
in
first-
the no, on the YouTube page.
Oh, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Show begins. Oh, would you look at this?
Bada bang.
Neat. Look at
Alright,
that.
James
Very helpful.
Dean. Here we
That guy
go.
did the work.
All right, let's
Yeah,
watch
but
this.
yeah, no. This is just for basically, who could have the most fun. Just throw some crazy. Like, look at that. He's
Ooh.
going backwards into Mondello. It's like,
Looked like Coffin at Laguna Seca there for a second.
Yeah.
yeah. So and like they're not being super serious, but it's cool, and that what adds to it is Jacob and Ian are going nuts in the booth. They're
That
they're
run
having
is
a
like
party.
100-point run.
Yeah.
For Mandello, honestly, even I mean he kept it pretty tame.
Yeah, well then
That was
they
just a seriously good entry.
That's gnarly. I
and
think
then they
wow.
just do a bunch of
He's-
donuts
oh
and
yeah,
stuff
he's just
afterwards.
having a good
and
time.
Just, yeah.
Golly, the footage there must be so good.
Oh, another fun thing they had was top qualifier. They had the top qualifier just sitting there and like as like like the king or
The
whatever
hangout.
basically.
Yeah. King
Nice.
So
Sub.
whenever they got
Yeah.
knocked down, they had to leave. It was kind of fun.
I think that's cool. But that's a really cool idea. So this is
Yeah.
like if you had no holds bar an entire event that the only goal is to like put on a cool show.
Yeah, and that is the whole premise behind this is they wanted to create a show and have fun with it. They don't want to stress out and be all worried about competition and stuff. Like I'm sure there's
Yeah.
some competitive nature when it comes to the actual comp, but like
Yeah, the battles.
yeah, but you're not going to be. I mean, unless I don't know, like, they definitely are pretty good at showing that there's not a huge like I don't know, like hatred when someone loses and stuff. Everyone's super pumped when someone else does well. Like
Let's
obviously,
look at Jack and Connors as well.
yeah,
Because
Damn,
I think one of my least
Connor
favorite
got knocked down, huh?
yeah.
one of my least favorite parts about competitive drifting is like oh man, this is probably gonna get me canceled. All the crying that happens when someone loses.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
very rarely do I feel like, oh, okay, that guy got robbed. Like if he's feeling some type of way, like I get it. But for the most part, it's like my brother. Like you did not do a good enough job to keep it out of the hands of the judges. Like if I don't want to hear crying about losing unless you had like the best run I have ever seen in my life. I don't know.
Mhm.
It's just
Yeah, unless there was like an actual point where some like the other guy zeroed and the judges didn't see it, like that's
Right.
kind of where you probably have more. I
in
just
the
love
past, like no one specifically, but in the past, it's been a situation. Obviously, I've done a
look
ton
at
of
that angle
these.
by the way that he's throwing. He's been
Oh,
doing
yeah.
this.
It's insane. I feel like he's better in the BMW than that car.
You talking Dean?
That's Connor. No?
Connor.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. Of course, he's going to be better in this car than he is in the BMW. It's
No,
his
we
car.
think that he's
Am
better
I
in the
crazy?
BMW.
I thought he had more laps in the Subaru or whatever.
What? No,
The
this is Connor
BRZ
Shanahan's car. He's had this for a long time.
FRS. I feel
Okay.
like that. No, Sarah does. I think that he.
All right,
he
maybe I'm
looks,
not-
I think that he looks better in the BMW than he does in that car.
That's
Right,
a
which
hot
was-
take.
I think he does because that is like what's crazy to me is that is his own chassis. So like he must have a bajillion laps in that GR86 or BRZ or whatever.
FRS or-
Okay, whatever
Not-
it is. I
not-
wish there was a name for them.
It's a
Not the-
Toyota
not the
badge
GR.
on there, so it's a GR.
Okay, so
It is
GR86.
It's not GR. It's the Toyota 86 or whatever. I don't know. It's not a GR because the new one's a GR. I don't even know what they are anymore. Jail immediately, Sarah. I
think-
appreciate that, Phil.
Jail immediately. Thank you so much. I really should be, to be honest. No, so like I thought that he had way more laps in that car, but when I see him drive the BMW, I don't know if he just gets like a wild hair, but it seems like he's just so much more aggressive and like fun behind the wheel. Not saying that's not. It's like Connor here versus Connor here. It's still insane. It's just I feel like he's more crazy in the BMW.
I don't agree at all.
Good old bald
You
eagles.
need to watch some of his battles because
All right, I'll
yeah,
watch
he's
some more. I'll watch some more.
He's a madman.
He is really good in that car. It's just broken a lot this year.
Correct, but like when it was last year when he won the championship in it,
Right.
you
Yeah.
get to watch some of his battles, and it was just
Coming
he's a good
from
driver.
fucking that right into the BMW, and he looks right at home now.
Yeah.
That's why I
Oh,
think that
and so this was kind of a dud, but they made this terribly built NASCAR that has a 2J in it, but the problem is that the steering wheel, there's steering from lock to lock is like 8 revolutions or something crazy.
Yeah.
And so
Yes.
none of these guys could drive the car very well. Like they're just trying to make it around the track without crashing it.
Well, so over the weekend at the Gambler, we were having quite a few one more times, and
This
we
is
were
James
discussing.
Dean, by the way.
Is
I
it
know.
really?
Yeah.
We were
That's funny.
discussing like no one really likes to see after like the second one more time. No one even gives a crap. So what they were saying was get like the shittiest cars you can find and make the drivers like this and make the drivers do the one more time battle in like the junk.
They
Yeah.
literally did that at this event. So they had
Amazing.
one more time battles, and I'll show
Yeah.
one of them was
Yeah.
literally in IS 200s, stock IS 200s.
Love that.
But yeah,
And
so
I
this
want them
is
to be
James
like-
Dean trying to drift this thing.
Wow. That is wow. This poor guy.
And the thing is the announcers
The
were just
Ricky
having a
Road
ball
special.
like during this whole thing, and
You know he's giggling while he's inside that thing too.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
and
absolutely,
the
I'd
cool
be
thing is
dying
right
laughing.
afterwards is Dave comes up to him and starts like talking to him like.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, this thing's undrivable, but it was fun.
I'm sure it is because it was never designed to do that. You know, it was
Yeah.
designed to go.
Look
go
at how he's
straight
turning the
through
wheel
land.
just to get it to just. All right, let's get her back. Let's get-
Yeah, well, the thing is he was saying it needs like the little knob on it that you can just like on a tractor.
like a school bus.
Yeah.
Oh, I just
But-
laughed so hard my chest hurts.
But the cool thing is so so they had James Dean, NMLZ,
Flam.
and was it Connor Shanahan drive? No, it was Chelsea. It was Chelsea, James, and Adam drive, and they all did terrible. But in between like swapping drivers, for example, they sent some like really fancy car to just drive the track while
Cool.
like to do a run while they were swapping drivers, or they were talking and making fun of them. So it was just they did such a. There were some times definitely where it sounded like they didn't know what was going to happen or what necessarily was going on. Like there was a couple cars that they announced incorrectly before they came out onto the track, and they're like, "Oh wait, no, this is this guy."
Yeah,
But-
it happens though.
But that's
like,
going to happen when you're running a show like this. So many things are going on, and I think the spirit is people are just having fun. And yeah, so like for example, they bring out the Audi while they're switching drivers, which this car is freaking sick.
neat.
But it's just one of those things where they do a really good job at running a show and putting the show first.
Yeah.
What's up, Brandon? Got Brandon out here in the chat, but
What
a
up,
little
dude?
bit.
no,
They said in the stream, go to 2 hours, 34 minutes, 9 seconds for the best battle of the event.
2 hours.
I
It's
so
I think
either
it's the
this
second
is-
day. 2 hours 38. You said.
to 2:34:09. So either this is going to be a sick battle or he's
it's
trolling
the
us.
it's
Either
the
way.
Shanahan it's the Shanahan whatever it's called. Oh, so this is like the wild card, or not wild card. Just fantasy battles, and it's just the two brothers I think going at it. And but like
Who do
some
you
of the
think
fantasy
wins
battles,
there?
they had guys switching cars and stuff, and then it was pretty funny.
That's
Who do you-
cool.
Who do you think beats who on this one?
I haven't seen any of this, and I've
Neither
seen
have I.
like minimal highlights. So I think I always like to root for an underdog. So I'm going with Jack on this one. I think,
Damn, I
right?
was gonna go with Jack too.
Okay.
I don't remember who wins this, and it's just for bragging rights. But
Yeah, I love
but-
that
But look how hard these guys drive just for fun.
because they're competitors. They're competitive. They're like, you know,
Woo!
they are.
Transition.
That's crazy.
Good
But-
golly,
Yeah, it's just
Jack, you are crazy.
I love
Yeah.
a good chase.
Yeah,
no, it's just
like
it's so
come
cool.
on.
Yeah, we'll throw on the whatever the IS 200 battle that was really good between it was James Dean and another guy. I can't remember his name. And
Is
it
that
was
a
a sweet party.
That is
Yeah,
some
he's
good.
just
That is
Oh,
some
just
good
such a good
stuff right there.
transition.
I love a transition that's just like inches off the bumper. I get all jazzed up about it.
That's like honestly, we had the private day on Sunday after the Gambler, and
Yeah,
man, it brings out the best driving in people, just
I
having
know.
fun. It's like, man, where is this
Where was that
energy all the
yesterday?
time?
Everyone, when it comes to comp, is like everyone's all tight and they're all mad.
And they all
And
do
I'm
like weird stuff in the
Uh,
lead, break weird places, and
yeah,
like kind of they're like,
literally, it's like what the fuck, and then literally Matt and Ricky just going lap after lap after lap
yeah.
together. It was just like, yo,
I saw
I
some of
was
their stories. It
I
looked
was
really fun.
crying happy tears. I was like, man, it's been. Where is this? This is what makes me love drifting right here.
Yeah,
I was
dude,
like, fuck, dude.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Like,
yeah.
man. Yeah, here we
Look at
go.
Connor,
Oh,
dude.
fuck.
They're just right there.
Dude.
Taps his wheel.
Oh, but
Oh,
he's
oh,
just as
baby
He
close.
takes
D.
off
Oh,
a
he's even
piece.
closer.
Oh my
God
god.
damn.
Yeah, he's trying to take his lunch money.
Oh, Nate's getting the thumbs up with the webcam.
Oh yeah. But yeah, dude, it's such a party, dude, and that's the thing is then they just keep driving, just for the hell of it.
After the finish line?
Yeah,
This
just
case is why
because
he's
you
much better
can.
than A6. That's bold though, because he does the same shit in the E36 and it's not even been a full year in it. He even missed a round.
Yeah. I think we're
So
allowed to
like
have controversial opinions about which chassis
I
we like.
I think genuinely it's because he's got the V8, and that's why I feel like that he does have an easier time, so where he could just lunge right up on motherfuckers, just like he knows he can, but
Yeah.
he has to do a lot more footwork and handwork in this car with less angle because it's a shitty chassis. I
You
don't
don't like
care.
the GT 86s? You don't like them BRZ
I
boys?
don't I don't dislike them, but they are not an easy mobile from my physics brain standpoint. That is not an easy chassis to tackle. I think that the newer ones that like Kengushi drives is a better chassis. I think they fixed it a little bit. I think that the wheelbase and the way how the weight distribution was in the previous uh, ones that ran for a decade basically now, which is crazy to think about.
Hmm.
Um, I think that they were a little worse. Or
Alright,
I don't know. I
so
feel like
In a decade.
Diego fucking getting into his and like having like a tsunami of different things like hitting him, like hard to drive, like Ryan Turk when he was in his, like that car just it didn't hit right for him.
Mm.
Who else? Daigo Saito when he was in his.
And wasn't Osbo in one for a little bit before he was in the Supra? Or am I crazy?
I think Corolla. I think Osmo
Okay.
was in a Corolla before the Soupy. I could be
yeah.
wrong. I
All right, so
might.
this is a one more time battle between James Dean
Love
and
that.
Martin Richards.
Love
They
that. I
took them
hope
out
these
of
are
their
so
cars.
hard to drive. I hope they go to pull the e-brake and it comes off in their hand. I want like really, really difficult and annoying situations.
Yeah, this is.
Look at
Wow.
that. What a great chase. I mean, they're evenly
Oh.
matched.
Yeah. So this is James Dean and.
Oh, baby.
Oh, I gotta find the first part of this run. 'Cause
Spicy.
All right, so the guy Martin Richards is the guy that hit the
The
wall
silver
there.
car.
Yeah, and then James Dean's is in the red car. So this is the first part of the run. And this is like first run of them driving the car. Like they have no experience driving this car. It's just
That's crazy.
yeah.
See, in comp, guys would cry about not having practice runs.
Yes.
They're just pushing them.
That's
It's
nuts.
great. And the track was somewhat damp, so this kind of
Yeah.
Really?
worked. Yeah.
Yeah, but
The
at the same
problem
time,
with
patchy.
later on is it got drier and it got a little harder to drive these, but yeah, dude, like look at that. Just look. And I think this is an extra lap that they're running right now. They're literally driving extra.
They just wanted to
Yeah.
get another lap.
Yeah,
I love
Yeah.
they
that.
literally did an extra lap there. Oh, that's hilarious. Damn.
Yeah, so it's
The
just
media, I'm so jealous
dude,
of
it's
the
You
just
gotta get
one of
over
footage
those
you
there.
could
it's
have.
just
I
one of
know.
those things that I'm so happy they did. And
I'd be
like
Yeah.
sitting there laughing so hard that even on a tripod, the shit would start to tremble because I would just feel like, what the fuck?
well like Jacob
Oh, shit.
and it stinks that the audio doesn't really it kind of works when I play it, I think for the crowd, but like you guys just got to go back and watch this video cuz the audio from this and Jacob is just laughing the entire time. There's no announcing at this point. There's just laughing. And everyone's just having a party at this time.
Yeah,
It is just it's amazing, dude. Like
man,
it's such
Guinness is flowing.
yeah, dude.
The good times are churning. Man, I
You gotta get
am
Herbie to Ireland. It sounds like.
For real.
envious of that event. That good golly.
But yeah, so like I don't know, they find ways to like is this the battle? Yeah, so like one of the battles, for example, let's see, where is it? Nope, nope. Connor
Are
Shanahan. Oh
Phil
yeah,
asks,
so this
aren't FD
yeah.
cars slower since they are heavier and less grippy tires? Would that make it easier for Connor to drive? I don't think that they don't have to be heavier.
Yeah.
There's more restrictions though. So the lighter, the smaller tire that you do have. Whereas I think in Drift Masters you could just kind of use whatever. I think.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can use whatever tire you want, I think. That's why like Volino, for example, is legal over there and it's not an FD.
Yeah.
So LZ World Tour is kind of becoming like the final boss of fun events, huh?
Yeah,
Like obviously not everyone can drive it, but
no, and you have to be invited, and it's like
right.
It's
Yeah.
there's like 3 head honchos I think right now, and it's Final Bout, Drift Appalachia, and the LZ World Tour.
I mean, I don't.
Lemon Zest Festival.
I think it's LZ World Tour, and then everyone underneath. When it
Well,
comes
yeah,
to
but I mean, but like
spectators and like
I think Final
viewing.
Bout does a really good job too, though.
No, that's
Obviously,
true.
they're not getting the
And you can't have
same
spectators at Drift Appalachia, but
it's a totally different vibe at a Final Bout versus Drift App. Yeah, and exactly. But like the media wise, like for Drift Appalachia, like that's a very sought after. Like the people yearn for a good fucking Toge video.
It's sick, dude, and it's like
It is.
I've been in one of those cars, and it's like hard to argue that it's not some of the coolest things in drifting.
So
Yeah.
I think that like for just cool events, I think that those are taking the cake until I think Clutch Kickers comes back whenever
Right.
they bring
I'm
that back
so
for you.
excited for that, you guys.
Me too.
it's gonna be a party. So this is Connor Shanahan and Fionn Roach's car because his car broke.
Oh, and Alan Hines' car.
Dude, he's getting after it.
Well, this is Alan Hines.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Oh yeah, he's
Wait.
in Fionn Roche has the FR86.
Yeah.
The FR86. I like that. I'm gonna start calling it that.
But yeah, so that's Shanahan in somebody else's car because his car broke. So they're like, you know what? Screw it. Just go drive someone else's. And it's like,
Yeah.
I like that mentality. It's fun.
I
But
do like Alan Hines. He's a good
he
good
ended
driver
up
to
getting
watch.
second in the event, man. He was a heck of a
Hell
driver,
yeah.
dude.
Good old Irish boy.
Yeah. I think one of the
Alan the
best.
Sim Goat.
I think this is one of the best battles of the whole day. Actually, was this one.
Damn, they look exactly the same. Just
Yeah. But like a couple E36s.
That's
Come on,
Look at
where
that
is he
angle,
to be
dude.
found?
Bananas, dude.
Look at that angle, just insane.
I mean, obviously Adam is cooking here, but I feel like the battle was better between the Shanahans, to be honest with you.
Well,
For
just
sure.
give
Oh,
it a
there's
second,
that
okay?
close tandem. There
Yeah,
it
but
is.
that's the
They got
last
it
turn.
eventually.
I don't
Yeah, I
care about
know.
the last turn.
I mean, I don't know if it's better than Shanahan's, but it was just one of the early battles I remember. I was like, dang, it's.
Adam's
I
engine
don't know.
is
I don't know who this
spicy.
white BMW guy is, but he's ripping.
You guys didn't mention Gridlife in the fun event, goaded events.
That's
I
true.
didn't
I
mention.
mean, uh, Grid Life
I didn't mention
does.
that.
There, it's tough for Grid Life because it's not obviously a drift centric organization. They're actually more road racing, I would consider, and then they
Mm-hmm.
do drifting for fun on the
Yeah.
side. So I wouldn't. No, they're a little bit different scenario. But for example, like they went to Laguna Seca, and some of the sweetest videos I've seen are on that track.
I
Like I
completely
saw,
agree.
like for example, I saw Kaufman, do his turn one crazy entry, but then I saw Matt Field driving behind him doing the same thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, so now we're doing tandems in that crazy entry now.
Yeah,
It's
just
sick.
Matt Square just
And
cooking it in there.
Dylan Hughes on the first day coming out, like going into the corkscrew, but the turn before already banging gears all
Yeah.
the way up the hill, and then coming down the corkscrew with his hand, like not just out of the car, but like swanging out of the car like he's a 12 o'clock boy, dude. And like that shit was hilarious to me. And then the switchback, like, and then you have to bang another
Ooh, just
gear.
yeah.
So, like, just everything. Yeah. Like, so I didn't mention Grid Life because I feel like it's a rising star. I think that right
Okay.
now, the top three, I feel still solid on what I did stand on.
Yeah, I
Grid
think you're
Life, I'm
right.
not saying is not bad at all, but I think that it has made the biggest like wave in like cool events. It's not a drift event, you know.
Right.
It
I
is
always forget that it's really heavy into road racing and it's
it,
got like a little bit of drift exhibition towards it.
which
Yep.
is essentially where all the fan base goes to, but I
Right.
mean, on paper, it is a little bit of a mixie, which is cool though. And they
Yeah,
got
I
the
know. They
fest.
do
They
a
got
really
that.
good job, especially at their festivals when they have the
Yeah,
big
they
music
got the music
stages,
and
and
shit.
it's super fun to go to those events. And they do a really good job at bringing crowds and people to the event. That's one of the
Yeah,
hard parts. One of the harder parts in doing drifting. I feel like for a lot of these organizations, like for example, the Gambler. Granted, it was raining the whole time, but like spectators are still pretty hard when it comes to the Gambler. I feel like, and you guys can correct me if I'm
I think
wrong.
no. You're right.
It was tough this past weekend, but to be fair, there's never like I love
You're
all
not over a
the
thousand people, right?
I don't
Never,
actually know. Um
never.
there's always the
Yeah.
nasty live comments where it's like, "Oh yeah, stands are pretty full." Ugh. Like you know how hard it is to fill those drag stands at the stadium? Like be so for real right now.
They
Well, I'm
are,
just
but like
saying, but
at
what
the
I'm
same
saying, the
time,
whole point is
we
like it's hard to do that. I was just
Yeah.
at the biggest drift event in the Midwest, No Star Bash, a couple of weeks ago, and I think we had 2,000, 3,000 people,
The
and
stands
that's like
were
huge
full.
for a drift event.
Yeah. There was
But
170 cars though. So like,
right,
each driver brings a little bit of crew, a couple of buddies,
yeah,
yeah,
girlfriend. Like
yeah.
that's probably
that's
how you
true
get up
too.
there that
Yeah,
quickly.
but I mean,
That's
you know what I'm saying though. Like
Yeah.
doing big spectator events like an LC World Tour or a Grid Life is really
Hmm.
hard and a pretty good accomplishment, I would say.
the the first Gambler did well. The first to I think the third pretty much. They all did pretty solid.
Hmm.
And now it's I wish that they did a little bit better job at, advertising and things like that.
Yeah.
I think that the events are put on really smoothly. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I have some gambler lore if you guys care to hear me. If
Yeah,
you want to
well,
get into that after this.
when we get into the gambler stuff, we'll definitely get into it. Phil brings up an interesting comment. So, do you guys think Grid Life introduces the most people to drifting from any other motorsport?
yes, and I think that that's why the sponsorship rating for drifters is so great when they opt out of FD and they just do these fun events, which like Grid Life, Hyperfest, and things like that, because you're going to these festivals where the people they're not diehard drift fans, but then they
Hmm.
come to these things and they see, Joe Schmo go around the track sideways and like, looking cool. and now they're going into the pit and like they're partying with them later on in the day, and they're like, man, what's your car, what you got built on that thing? And it's like, okay, like, bam, one, we got a fan, two, we might have a sale, and
Mm-hmm.
like, and but most of the time you always have number one. When you go
Mm-hmm.
to, like, for people that aren't like drift fans, you pretty much make a drift fan out of somebody when they go to those events.
Yeah.
Almost guaranteed. It's the same thing when I went to Fuel Fest. It was like crazy to see like the street racing demographic just watch that shit and like watch a terrible run, and they're like, that was sick. And I'm like, man, that was bad, but like, hell yeah, brother. Like, cool. I'm glad that you're having a good time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So, like another just a quick answer from Malik. How many people did clutch kickers on average? So, when it first started, especially at the old location, you're regularly getting over 60 to 70 drivers, roughly.
Yeah.
Some
Which is a
events were more.
lot.
Toward like when it went to Freedom Factory, it was around the 50s, but it's still a lot of drivers for a pretty big driver count for that kind of event. So, I thought it was pretty successful. Um, but the another Malachi brings up another one. He says Goodwood shows a lot of people drifting as well. The speed festival,
True.
but it's not really
Yeah,
like
it's different.
it's
Excuse me.
different though. You're right because it's not a it's a terrible drift track and it's not
Yeah, it's
really.
too
It's
slow. I heard it's a guy's driveway, right? Like,
the,
what are we doing out
it
here?
literally is a guy's driveway.
Hmm.
But like, I think that
Props to him.
the
That's true.
drifting. I love you too. Oh, dude, Galen. But I think that the drifting that goes on at Goodwood is just. It,
It's
I
glorified
think that
donuts half the time.
the people that are
Yeah.
watching it there are just like, they got deep pockets, and like they don't give a damn, bro. Like
Hmm.
they like they see that, they're like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Don't care. Like, I'm gonna watch, but like, I really, like, I'm never gonna do that. I'm gonna go hop in my Porsche now, and I'm gonna go drive home. Like, but I think that it's just something to keep the entertainment high. It's a good
Right.
entertainment factor. It's not a
Right.
sale factor at Goodwood.
Right. No, I yeah. So I mean, from a spectator standpoint, I think Gridlife offers a ton when it comes to their events, and I think they do a great job at showcasing drifting, especially. And one of the cool things drifting does, or that they do now during the festivals and stuff, is they'll mix up the road racing guys with the drift guys, kind of like playing off. Another big event over in Europe, Gattabil. Everyone's seen
Oh
Yeah.
the Gattabil
man, dude.
videos. So they wanted to kind of do some of that, and so now
Yeah.
at some of the grid lives, they do the where you're drifting through road racing guys and
Yeah, and the
stuff.
road
That's
racers, like,
crazy
yeah,
bananas. That's
it's
cool.
pretty cool. That
It,
it's pretty tame. It
mhm.
genuinely is, like, they all have like a mutual understanding. Like, no
Yeah.
road racers going out for a hot lap time,
Right.
and
Like he's not trying
no,
to
yeah.
PB out there.
Yeah, and no drifters really going for like the sickest entry, or like to connect the whole course. Like,
That's good.
if they if they do see somebody coming, they do that at the Midwest Fest.
So I've only been to one grid life, and it was Lime Rock, and obviously Lime Rock is like one of the coolest tracks ever, like iconic.
Mhm.
But there's a lot of rules because it's close to a lot of houses, so it wasn't really like a crazy time. It was like a medium time, which is chill. But I've heard Midwest. Like, have you guys been to Midwest?
Yes,
Okay,
Hmm.
I heard it goes hard.
It's a
it, it
party.
it does go hard. I think that the drifting is okay. Honestly, I think that
It's
the
not a
end,
great
like,
drift track. It's not a pretty track, but it's a good
Okay.
festival. Like the best
everybody's
one was
there for
drift.
the entry.
I haven't been to Laguna Seca, and it looks pretty sweet. But
Dude.
again,
I think that that is probably the best drift track that they have on the menu right now, and a second close, which is combating it, is Lime Rock.
Lime
Honestly,
Rock is a
Be-
gorgeous track
because
and a great facility.
you can do, if you really want to, you could do the whole track. Like, if you want to go Forza all the way balls out on
hmm
that,
Yeah.
you
I'll tell you
could.
what. I don't know if Ricky was trying to impress a lady,
Oh yeah,
as he do. But
he
he
was
sent a lap, and I was like, "Dang, I should make
yeah.
fun of him like 10% less." That was dope.
Yeah, and Matt saved it for his very last lap for me because
Nice.
he didn't want to get kicked off, and I waited on the last turn. I
Yeah.
waited and I waited, and he finally did the last turn down the hill, and I saw him coming over. I'm like, man, he's moving. Like, good lord, this
That's
is
Good
real
funny.
life.
gracious.
Yeah. Um, also, RIP to Gridlife South. That was an amazing event. If you guys never
That
made
was
it,
a really good event.
What was
Holy
that?
cow, South
Gridlife
Carolina.
in Road Atlanta, they
Oh,
had a
that
Gridlife
I
there,
Oh.
didn't
and you
I
could
didn't
drift
make
the
that
whole
one.
course, and it was
Yeah, I didn't make
bananas.
that one. No, I
That's a
missed.
big course.
Oh yeah, it was the one of my favorite events to go to, and it was a festival and everything. Like they had big names
Y-
playing
Yeah, that
there. Like it was nuts, and that's probably why they don't do it anymore.
Oh, well, because the crowd in Atlanta is like one of the best crowds of
the
drifting. I'll
the
die on that
best
hill.
type of
Yeah.
people ever.
Yeah, they're just like
That is my
everyone's
kind of people
chill.
right there, right?
Everyone's down to have a good time. Little dash of redneck in there. That's how you know it's
Yep.
extra
A
fun.
little dash of color, a little dash of redneck. We all get along. It's crazy
Right.
what the media does to us, you know? It's like we all just need to mingle a little at the racetrack,
Yeah, we
guys.
just need more Road Atlanta in our lives, and then we'll all be bestest buddies.
Hmm?
Oh, it's true. So I guess just to kind of roll things off of Adam LZ's event, like honestly, kudos to them. I've been to one in person, and it was a lot of fun to go to.
Same.
But
I
just
was with you.
being, yeah, that's right.
Which
Sarah was
one
there too.
was I?
Yeah.
Oh man, I have some lore from the New Jersey event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was like the first time that they had it was like maybe the second LZ. I was calling it the Lemon Zest Festival or the Lasagna Fest because I think that's funny and I like its name. So we were there and the crowd was way more than anyone expected. And so I was hanging out by where everyone was going up to grid and they were like, "Hey, we need some help. Like we didn't realize it was this many. So like, can you help organize?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. Like I'm just chilling." And so I look over and the burnout box, which like no shade to the drivers, they were doing everything right, but it was just like plastic barriers.
Yeah.
And there was like random fans just sitting on the barriers, like no concern. And I'm like, yeah, y'all got to get up and go because like one little extra spicy turn and like you're gonna be a liquid. Like I don't know if you know this about yourself.
That's
And
when I was the
like,
media manager for that 24
okay,
hours in advance to that, and only 8 people showed up to the media meeting, and
Oh
then the
wow.
rest of them all went over to the other side to Clean Culture's media meeting, where they all had to they just disregarded everything that
it
Club
was
Loose was
wild.
about. I was
I
like,
know. And so I was like, "Hey guys, like move." And I said it politely a couple times and like everyone's sitting. And then I was like, "You know what? I'm just going to have to yell. And here's the reason why. Because if somebody dies and then their parents sue the track and the track has to close, I don't have a place to go drifting anymore." So I was
yeah,
like, "You know what?" I was like, "Get the like screamed, right?" And one of LS's or LZ's guys came over and was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." And I was like, "Hey, like I don't mean to get husky with you, but like we cannot have fans sitting on plastic barriers outside of the burnout box. Like you cannot have that." And I had
well,
to
the
go
tie rod
apologize
breaks,
to him
and they
after.
just go
Right.
fucking wham bam right into
Like
them.
girly pop. Let's be so for like other side of the fence, please. Like and no one
Shit
wanted to do it.
happens.
So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
it was interesting, that's for
It
sure.
was a good time
But you
though.
know, I
It
think
was
I had a
they've
so fun.
blast. So overall,
Yeah.
otherwise, I
There
well
just
the
was just
think
thing
a huge crowd.
well I'm just impressed with how they've, kind of created this event now, and this now they've done a couple, they kind of understand,
Yeah.
okay, it's not, it's not the comp is not why you're there, it's to see all the drivers and for all the fans to check them out and to have a fun time, you know especially with like the live streams and all of the different elements they do. So I just wanted to, give some time to them
hi
because
Bruce.
I really
Yeah.
appreciate, what they
I would love to go to another one for sure. Because of exactly what you said, just how much better they're getting every time, and obviously that's an amazing venue. So
I hope he does another one at E Town.
that'd be cool.
I think he will. I think because it does seat a good amount of people, and it's a good venue
I feel like
overall.
he did do two. Like he
He
didn't
did.
just do
He
the
did do
one.
too. He
Okay,
did, but
so
the first one it was a wash for me because
yeah.
it was semantics. That was
Well,
a
it
bad.
was the very first of
No,
anything is going to kind of be a little wild.
no, I'm sure the event was great, but overall, I was there to shoot Alex, and he was driving the M. And then
Mm.
literally on Saturday, after driving it on Friday, he was told he's not allowed to drive it. So I had 6 GoPros and 2 Insta360 cameras set up, ready to go, waiting. And then fucking Big B walks over and is like, "Shut it down." And I
Dang.
was like, so I had a motive to only shoot one person, and
Right.
I just negative Nancy'd my way through the rest of the event, and
Now
I didn't.
you now you're diversifying. Now you're doing it right.
I'm definitely diversified.
But yeah,
Cool.
no, I agree with what you were saying, Nate. Good event. Love to get out to another one, especially at a new track.
All right. Well, talking about that track, we have the Gambler. So, tell
Hey, it
me,
was raining.
yeah, tell me about the party in the puddles. How this went.
Ugh, it was such a stark contrast to what we just talked about with like,
Shout out to
forced.
Phil.
Yeah, Phil. Phil was there. He's competing. Great job,
Yeah,
dude.
he
Very
did
impressed.
really good. He
Very
did
impressed.
honestly really good. Phil,
Yeah.
I recorded every goddamn run, buddy. If you decide that you ever need footage, if like you said you had a guy, I get it, but here I am. I
Yeah.
recorded every run.
Um, contrast what we were just talking about with like drivers being all for sportsmanship and fun and blah 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 blah. Let me just tell you, I'm not gonna say who because I'm not starting any drama, but I think we can guess. It was raining all morning, all day, all throughout practice. It was consistent misty rain, right? And so we're in a drivers meeting. It was the one right before qualifying, and one of the drivers raises his hand. He's like, are we gonna get any sight laps?" And I'm like,
That was Ricky, no?
no, it wasn't Ricky. And I'm like, my
Yeah,
brother in Christ.
one of my boys said I'm gonna ask for a sight lap as soon as I go up to.
So I think based on how much I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? I based on my reaction, someone was probably like $50 if you asked for a sight lap in the next drivers meeting. But I couldn't like contain my face for a second. I was like, be so for real right now, dude. So that's what I'm saying.
Oh
Like
shit!
the atmosphere of just like drive to drive and not like, well, I didn't get enough practice laps or where's my sight lap or I don't agree. Like
The
that
no
type of
practice laps is crazy because there's only 20 something drivers total
right.
between the two different classes, and it's
Yeah.
raining out, and nobody went into the wall, and there's no
Yeah.
cones to be reset up. So it's lap after lap after lap.
And then someone complained that one of the cars didn't have both of his taillights in. It was just like
Uh, Ricky?
no,
No,
it was
again?
the no, it was I'm gonna forget
I
how
was gonna,
Langlois with but he
oh,
had like a strip on the top. I was like, you can see when he's on the brakes because he has that.
oh, he's got the
Yeah.
BMW. Yeah,
Anyway,
we call
either way, I
we
like.
had we had a name for him. We were rooting for him.
He was kind of killing it, dude. He was
He
getting
was-
better and better.
he
The skis on top. He's going skiing.
we were rooting for him. It
Um,
was so challenging in driving rain. I bet, dude, your little fucking Corvette was that thing rev out to 4,800, dude. That thing was bouncing limiter like it was about to blow up on
God,
itself. I'm like, damn, bro, what the hell? You
yeah, that was
misfired?
crazy. And it was like obviously I love gamblers. I've had some of the best times in drifting at gamblers. It's just with the weather of this event, it was a really tough one.
It was
Especially
rough.
because like some people were just out to have fun and obviously, in those conditions you kind of just have to and other people were like being a little bit too much of a stickler in my opinion. It's like come on now.
The Canucks.
Yeah.
God damn
It was
Canucks.
really 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 slippery and to the point where it was like puddling on the track.
Mike Knapp killed it,
Mike
honestly.
Knapp he is lethal
Hon-
in that car.
he is having. Ricky's been working on that thing.
Yeah, he's like dialed in that car. I think he drives that even better than he drives that one series.
For sure. It was the S chassis.
Who else was doing good?
I ran it in first gear. Jesus Christ.
Sir.
You have an issue.
I'm gonna use it.
Okay.
Fill up. I'm using your whole government. First gear.
I'm
Nah.
gonna use your whole government.
It was rough. It was like, so I hate rain drifting. I'm just gonna say that. I hate it. I don't like doing it. I don't like watching it. I think is boring. But I will say one cool thing that you guys might like, since we're all media here, is that's my melon. And we were doing some like driver interviews during practice. And then they were like replaying it during the live stream, which I thought was really sick because, like you said, there's like quite a bit of downtime. So I would love for them to do that again, to sort of break it up, give people something to watch when,
Yeah,
there was downtime.
there was definitely a bit of some quietness
Yeah.
from the what I thought we agreed on. Get the judge's opinion. If it's taking so long, just fucking put the mic right in their mouth. Like, all
Oh,
right, well,
speaking of which,
you had Reese up there. I know he was up there because he was down
poor
in that.
Reese sat on like the rustiest, oldest chair, and like it was fine. And like 20 minutes later, it just woof.
Is
So
that
we're
what took
like,
him so long to fucking make a judging call
no,
every
Reese
time?
wasn't judging.
He
Oh, I
wasn't.
thought he
Yeah.
was.
It was the Meyer boys and Fred. I don't actually know
Well,
Fred's last name.
Kenrick only makes a decision. I've been told once somebody else makes a decision. So
I don't know. I can't, for legal reasons, I can't comment on some of it. I will
so
defer to my lawyer on that one. I don't know. So I
it's
like
all right, Kenrick. It's okay. I feel
during
you. You don't want to
during
hurt feelings.
qualifying, um, I keep score as well. So each judge, no matter what they were doing, as long as they were being like consistent with their number, it's always going to end up being the same. Like there could have been one judge who's like, I'm not giving above an 80, but like he's scoring everybody the same way. And another judge that's like tossing out 90s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I hate one more times. I honestly, some of those drivers were really close competitively, and given the conditions, it was difficult to pick a winner. And like the judges would go one more time, and people would be like, "Oh my god, we're sick of seeing this," and the judges would pick a winner, and then the drivers would get mad about who they picked. So I definitely sympathize with the judges quite a bit, but
Yeah, I do too. I think that the one more times, some of them were
speaking of
justified.
them, I think we're watching one of them right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, so to put it on a more positive note, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I believe we are not doing 2 classes next year. I don't think
Interesting.
the final decision has been made, but it was discussed that 2 classes is too many. And one of the reasons why the unlimited class was founded to begin with was because Clutch Kickers wasn't around anymore.
Yeah.
And that was sick, and they wanted somewhere to come and compete. But a lot of these guys will literally drive in both classes now. So it's like, okay, if you're going to drive in the 235 anyway.
And question here.
Yeah.
This I was curious about the Malik, how much was the prize pool? 4K if you won the 235, and then you get however many drivers sign up for the high roller class, you earn that amount of money. So it's 650 to enter. So however many drivers that they have
Times 14.
Yeah. So
That's how much you win.
not a bad day. But
Yeah.
anyways, thought you're not allowed an FD car in the 235 class. And you had Connor Osoli technically in an FD car and Nate Chen in an FD car. When
So
in past they've been in the FD RX7 and the S14, which is clearly they're both like pretty much FD ready, but like they're
right.
not FD cars. And this event, because both of those cars just didn't make it, or some reason, I know that his whole subframe ripped out of the rear end. I don't
Yeah.
know what happened to Connor's car, but like,
It was broken as well.
so they just got a free pass because there's only X amount of drive like that. Like,
I don't know. I will say
Let
that
people have fun, Herbie.
I will say
I'm
that
just saying,
so
you want to have rules.
all the crying that was happening, all the bitching and complaining was done. It was unlimited drivers. It wasn't any of the 235 guys.
Did Alex go up there? I know he was a little chapped up. I found out about thing.
I believe Shayna was having words with the judges, but I don't want to single anyone out because it was like multiple people. You know what I mean? It
Yeah,
was rampant.
yeah,
And to be honest with you, I didn't see any. Like, if you're up there in the tower mad, I want to see the best lap of drifting I've ever seen in my life. And then you
yeah,
can come up there and be mad. If you had mistake after mistake after mistake and you lost, and you
yeah.
just felt like the other guy had more mistakes than your mistakes, be so for real. I'll die on that hill. But no, I do see your point with like that was a rule in the past. Honestly, I don't know if that rule's been enforced all season, and I don't get to choose who goes in. So I don't actually know. They tell me very little.
No, and well, I think going to just a small tire class makes a lot of sense because you can bring whatever, and you're kind of limited still with the
Or
tire.
just don't limit it to the tire size. Just fucking 255 should be. I don't think
Yeah.
that they should do a 235 because then they're gonna lose a lot of their people that
I
want
I
think
to.
I like the 235. I think it's important to kind of have a competition where everyone feels like they can compete in, and that's why your 235 class is going to be doing so much better than your big tire class. It always has, and that's why, for example, like a street league does so well.
Yeah,
So if you do a 255, then you're just pro spec.
I do like raising the tire though, whether it's a 245, like split the difference, or do a 255. Like, I am by no means a good driver, and I can run a 265 on my car, no problem.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, no, I just think about it in the sense of some of like the prospect drivers that are coming from FD and they've already bought their 255 tires and
Hmm.
now they're going for, if they decide a week in advance before that they want to run the gambler, now they got to buy a 10 set of fucking 235s or 245s or some nonsense that they don't really need, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
But the thing is then other people aren't going to compete. So do you want more drivers, or do you want some guy that doesn't want to buy 235s
I
buy
get
some
it. It
235s?
does go both ways. Where like, I mean, you could just have a party car and not
Yeah,
have a 900,000 horsepower or whatever fucking
I
nonsense.
yeah.
I
I
see both sides because on one hand, like the guys that come, like I don't want to shade the dudes that come down from FD and run this series because Trevor Root is at every effing round. Connor
Yeah,
O'Sully is at every
yeah,
round. Like, I do love these underdogs, and like I said, I'm always going to root for an underdog, but they're not at all 4 rounds, and I feel like 4 rounds of a gambler is not a lot to get to be honest with
yeah,
you. So I don't know.
I
yeah.
I like the fact that you're gonna that the idea to run a small tire is it because there isn't, because in my opinion, if you run an unlimited class, there is other, I
I
don't know if there's other events, but like
I think that's why
it's
the
it
Casino Royale does well because you don't need a cage. There's no like, what's the tire limit? 235, I think, right there.
I think so, yeah.
Um, and like the restrictions are very very low. So the driver turnout is incredibly high, and the event is a good time. You're on a car track, no walls, no nothing, no cage.
Yeah.
You've never done like my buddy. Like he's going to enter into. Oh wow, I did not even notice that happened. Wow, he hit
Yeah.
the wall.
Oh
Wow,
yeah.
yeah, he hit. It
was
was
that
bad.
Chen?
No, that was another guy. I believe it was one of the
Canadian?
Canadians. And that took forever to get off the track. If you want to talk about brakes, because peace and love to him, he refused
Mm,
the forks, and the whole front
I
end of
do
that
remember
car was
that.
ripped out. Yeah,
I didn't realize that he actually hit like that.
he hit really hard, and then so
Yeah, and then he
he was
sat
like
there.
limping back to his pit, and then
Yep.
the whole time his spotter is up there being like he wants to take his comp time out, and we're like, sir, it literally took him like 35 minutes to get back to his pit and
Yeah.
then take a 5 minute. But
Could have forked him off. Could have hit the Cowie on him.
He refused the forks, which I get, but
It's either comp time out with the Cowie or
yeah, I like that. You got to get back to your pit. That's the thing. So like, I think there has to be nuances, and I don't know.
like
I like.
you got workers standing out there, you got media people standing
I
out there,
know.
you got commentators sitting there. You can't, and then money per hour on running those lights is not cheap,
Mhm.
motherfucker. Get your ass
They
moving.
pay for a live stream, like it's a lot of stuff. But the thing of it is like the Gambler is very much a passion project by the Naps that just love drifting so much that they want to continue it. And
Yeah.
it's a lot of us that are like, we have not been running an event for X amount of years. Like, how long has the Gambler been around? 6 years? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And then, me and Mike were
It's
never
just crazy to
announcers
think about.
before the Gambler came out, and then but I think they're learning every time. That was a whole brand new live stream up there. That was a completely different team. The other team backed out. So these guys are like drone pilots, and they just decided to run the live stream for the first time ever. And I think they did a pretty darn good job.
They
So
did a
Pretty
good job. I
pretty
think they need
yeah,
fantastic.
one more person. They need one
I
more.
agree.
They need one more drone guy, so
Yes.
that way when one needs to change a
Oh my
battery,
God, the poor drone was like flying in that weather, and
he's
then he
like,
had to
yo,
change batteries like every other run.
y'all mind if I take a 20 real quick and fucking and charge up my drone batteries? Like, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, man. It's whatever. We'll go hang out for 20 minutes. It's fine.
yeah.
But
But hey,
Jason,
we're learning
no,
every time. So
no cage is dumb is not dumb for the kart track because you're going a proper fucking no miles an hour, and if you bang into somebody, you're just crushing their goddamn door in. Like literally.
Um, I also lean towards the no cage is dumb. However, Jason, you know this track because it's literally where everybody pits for FD. There's like a
Yeah.
little baby cart track inside that parking lot. So to Herbie's point, like
Anywhere else, I'd say yeah,
you
but
can't. I don't
this
want to say
one
you
is
can't get hurt, but the odds of getting hurt are
like
much lower.
if you get hit, you're it's okay. Your car might get bent, but you're not gonna get hurt.
Yeah. But speaking of safety equipment, I don't know if anyone's familiar with Z. She drives in Pro Spec.
Mhm.
She caught fire at Laguna Seca over the weekend, and I don't know if you guys saw the in car for that. I should have sent you guys the link, but basically, she like uses the fire suppression, gets out of the car within seconds. Like props to Laguna Seca crew were there in like 30 seconds, not even exaggerating. And she said that the damage was just to the engine that had blown itself up. Here, I can send you the. You want me to just send it to our chat?
I'm looking it up right now.
It should be on her Instagram.
Here it is. Yeah,
Anyway,
this is
so
wild. I
they don't
remember.
realize it's on fire at first. She blew her motor right there, and she didn't realize like that wasn't tire smoke. And then you hear the audio like right about when she turns it off here, and then she goes to try to start it again because I guess she didn't realize. And that's when they're like, you're on fire," and she says to get out. Right?
Yeah,
We're not good.
see.
Get out, get out. And she pulls suppression here, and the passenger is like panicking too much to be able to get the door open. So she reaches over, gets him out, right? And
Damn,
like,
what a fool.
right, like that's crazy. Well, that was a ride along, so that person had never been in a drift car before. But also the thing of it is for safety equipment, she said that her entire car was like barely damaged, that it was like an oil fire because it blew up and it was like underneath. So her fueling system was fine. There wasn't any accelerants added to the situation because of the fire suppression, like safety equipment. So to your point, Jason, about safety equipment, it is very important.
I mean, they wear Hans. No, they don't wear a fire suit. They wear helmets. Yeah, you don't need a whole racing suit for like
Yeah.
casino
I
layout. You don't need a Hans or Halo. It's recommended, but it's not required. I don't think.
I would say 40 is even fast on the car track, Phil. Like the
Yeah,
entry
I
speed's
think.
probably even, it might even be lower than that.
Yeah, it might be like 35. People some cars maybe be going a little fast, but like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, you got to remember, like, this is not a common thing. Obviously, you got
Nate,
to
you should come
plan
up
for
for
that.
that event.
Which one?
Yeah, you want to come up for kart comp?
The Casino Royale. It's a good time.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how the schedule is.
It's
The funny
silly.
thing with English Town is that there's two names for everything. So there's the gambler class, which is 235 class. Then there's high roller class, which is unlimited tire class. There's kart comp that they also call Casino
Casino.
Royale.
Yeah, that one's cool though because it does have like its own name, Casino Royale.
So to be real, I have to give it another try because when I announced it last year, I'm not joking. I was coming from a red eye from SEMA, and I literally did not sleep, landed in Philly, drove to the track, and I was like, not in a good way. I was really struggling that day. So I don't know if it was just me, but I always remember being like, I can't wait for this event to be over.
It definitely lasted a lot longer than I anticipated.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
That's what it was. And maybe to your point, it's because a lot of drivers showed up.
a lot of drivers, and they had the knockout.
Oh, God.
You could lose, and then you could lose again.
Double elimination. I hope they don't
Yeah,
do that.
I hope they don't again.
That's
But
like
at
a
the
one
same
more
time,
times
at
cousin.
at but like even worse, it's like what's the Sid from fucking Toy Story's cut? Like that's the cousin.
Yeah. So I'm gonna bring it up to Nap. I
Damn,
think we should
look at
do
that
like
car though.
it does. His car does look really good. Which one is
Damn,
the one that says Snow Money on the roof? Is that the Mustang?
both of them.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell, you know.
Yeah, he was throwing down. I thought Bystrack was doing really good this weekend. I think he scored pretty high in qualifying too. I
He
can tell
actually
you what he scored if you want
he
to
either
know.
got I think he got fourth.
Let's see.
All
I'm
right.
the keeper of the scores.
Did they
Way to
Probably
announce
go.
not.
the scores for qualifying?
Yes,
Yeah.
we announce it. So
Okay.
normally we announce it at the time, but then we also announce it during the drivers meeting. But
Cool.
we didn't want to make everyone stand in the rain,
Missing
so
the
we only
complete
ever.
beginning of
Yeah, yeah.
outer two.
Well, so my question is, well, and I guess this is my thing with Drift Indy is they don't ever announce their qualifying scores, and I've always wondered why.
There is
But
a metric ass ton of drivers, so maybe that's why.
it doesn't take. It takes 3 seconds to say it.
I know.
You know.
Anyway,
Looks
so let's see.
so much different from a drone point of view. The
Bystrack
guy.
got an 83, so he was 7th. But just to let you
Okay.
know,
He thought that he got originally an 86. I was like, I don't know, dude. I'm like,
okay, so that's because the dude next to me was announcing the scores as the judges were giving them, and then I was doing an average, and we were giving the final
Oh.
score, and I was like, "Hey, can you stop doing that? It's confusing." So Chris Meyer did give him an 86, but
okay.
Kenrick gave him an 84, and Fred gave him a 75. So if he wants to know who is bringing down the class average,
There you go, Matt. Let's go beat up Fred. Which one's
Yeah.
Fred?
and his second run, he got more points than his first run.
All right. All right. So, is there
Anyway.
any other points you guys wanted to hit on Gambler before I move on to kind of our final topic of the night?
Nah. I
Nah,
mean,
we're cool.
it was
We
a
love
good time.
Gambler. We hope that
I,
they'll.
I like the gamblers because I could stand kind of wherever I want to. Thank you, Chris Knapp, for loving me,
Within
and
reason, yeah, exactly.
appreciating for what I do. And
Mm-hmm.
but like, I don't ever really do it, but I do push the limits a little bit. You know what I mean? Especially
Well,
on
it's a
private days. I was walking,
Well,
so like, all right, you know what a tree turn, sir? Like
yeah.
you're coming down from tree turn and you're going into backtrack on the road, and there's that small piece of grass though that splits the difference between
Oh my God.
and
Nah.
I'm walking literally as fucking as Kyle Supko is like coming out of tree turn. I'm like, oh fuck, I picked a
Oh,
bad
great
time
heavens.
in the middle of the rain. I'm like, oh my, I like turn around and his like just full. I'm like, man, please stay on the track. I
Yeah.
do not want Chris to be mad at me.
Well, you
like,
don't want to. Kyle Supko, love him so much. He's one of the nicest people on the entire planet. His car is not
it's-
pretty. I would not
well,
want to be killed by that
no,
car. I'd be like
his
kill me by a
poor,
nicer looking one.
he fucking ripped his muffler off on the fucking wall
Oh my
too.
god! And
So
then, wait,
that
is
thing,
he? He's not
y-
VQ, is he?
oh, it turned
Oh,
into a real piece of shit.
disgusting! Disgusting!
It ripped off on Sunday, so it went from quiet as all could be, and all of a sudden the next lap it was like, what the fuck is that? And it's like,
What the
man.
fuck is even that? Well, at least he didn't do. Who posted it? Was it Derp? Did you see that media kid that like takeover style is like this, and he's like running towards the car, and he like sprints on the track and gets clapped by the car?
What?
You didn't see
No.
that? All right, hold on. Let
No.
me try to find it.
Damn, you have all these things and you don't respond at all.
I'm sorry, guys. I thought everyone would have seen this. Hold on.
It's on.
I didn't know
Dirt?
we would be talking about this. It
I'm
might have been on
chronically
Derp.
online Twitter. I'm not online Instagram.
Is it Lone Star Derp or Formula Derp?
Oh yeah. It's Lone Star Derp, and it's the third post on the top. The one with the guy who looks like he's. Oh my god. Ready? Look at that. What the fuck are you doing? I'm sorry. I scared my cat. But it's like you're making us look bad. My brother in Christ. What was supposed to happen there?
Bro, you gotta watch out for these iPhone guys, man. They're
They're
next level.
crazy. I bet you that thing is still stable though. I bet you the video is still straight.
Oh man, I have so many opinions I shouldn't say out loud.
All right, let her rip.
I mean, I don't know. It's just natural selection at this point.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
You
That
know,
reflection was all
you
the way
could
though.
tell by the way how it is. He hit his head straight on.
It's just
Well,
Bam.
It's
he
just
can't get any
nice.
stupider, so there's that.
yeah.
I just want to know what was going through his head. Like what?
I mean, technically the video ended so he didn't really actually fall.
What a
he-
fucking idiot! I
Oh.
just. Where did he see? How did he see that unfolding? I don't know.
He
Yeah.
was recording it and he missed the fact that he was running into
He
it.
ran straight on the track, and then a lot of the comments are like, "He's on the car's on a bad line. Car's on a bad line." I don't think so. I
no,
think that
he's
looks
on
like
the track. Like, look,
Yeah.
he's on the track. You take steps.
He's
like,
right at the
wide,
And
and
inside
it's
point.
normal to like dip your front
To
bumper in
apex.
an apex.
Yeah.
Like, okay, thank you for the backup here, guys. I was reading the comments, like maybe I'm an idiot, but he was too close when the video started, and they got closer.
yeah. Yeah, he was at a good. He should have stayed on the apex on the grass for the video. Not-
And also, there's this crazy function that cameras do where they zoom in.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
you know,
Anyway,
All right.
what's going through his rumble
lobotomy.
strip? I wonder what it looks like from his phone's perspective. Probably pretty bad, honestly.
Yeah,
It's
you're
probably,
way too close to actually see anything.
unless he did like a cool 0.5 and he was doing like some sick shit, you know.
do not defend. I'm looking at you.
I
Ernie.
would have done it better
I'm sure you would have, buddy.
and not got hit by the car.
All right.
I
This
did
is
that
the-
on Sunday. I was
This is
running
the last
on the
video I
inside.
wanted to talk about.
Okay.
And I am gonna play audio. Hold up.
Hold up.
Hold up. I gotta switch something on here, and I think the chat will be able to hear it. Theoretically.
If not, we can tell them where to go to hear it. And
Well,
also, I'd be
it has-
surprised who hasn't.
Is subtitles as well.
Okay.
But
I can't read.
The live stream will probably be 10 hours long.
Yeah.
I gotta
On a
start it
weekend.
over. All right. Let's try.
Reese does the explanation and stuff like that. I want people to watch that, at least
Hell
give it
yeah.
a chance, and give us a chance of us trying to explain. Because if we explained every run, the live stream will probably be 10 hours long
We don't got
Yeah.
that, Sarah.
on a weekend, and that's impossible.
Not me
So
turning
they do it within 2 hours or 3 hours or so. So everybody gets to watch it once. We'll come back to it and try to answer more questions because the explanation is very, very important. And you guys have to do it within a minute or two. And then also we're sitting separately. So sometimes we show you like the whiteboard says, "Oh,
yeah,
this happened," or that happened.
yeah, or the
and
hand signal. Every once in a while, I'll get the
like this, or
the thumbs
or
up.
like,
You're like, yeah,
or this, or whatever it is.
Yeah, or 00, the old double,
Yeah,
the old 00.
Yeah.
Reese does
Gotta
explain
love it, dude.
explanation.
I'm
and stuff like
surprised.
that.
I'm surprised that didn't end up. And I probably shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, you did it. Now it's game over. Nice.
All right, slight echo. Interesting. Well, I mean, at least you guys could hear the audio. Unlike my compadres, but they have also
We've
watched
seen
the
it.
video. So, my first point is, so this is kind of a direct response to my criticism in an earlier stream where I wanted more explanation from judges after runs to help. So this is all about the whole preface behind why I said this originally was I want more new people to drifting to get involved. And the hardest part to get involved with drifting is there's no like the learning curve is so high and there's not great explanations for like when drivers win that it's very hard to kind of get into the sport when you don't understand it. And my whole point is like the new people. So no new person that is like, sees drifting for the first time is going to go to FD's YouTube channel and go seek out a video on why any battle is winning for whoever wins the battle. Like no one new to the sport is going to go to FD's YouTube channel and go watch the video. Also, Reese's videos do not cover every battle. They only cover a couple. So that still doesn't fix my problem here. So to the first point is it's all about new people, and the first rebuttal is no one new is going to go to FD's YouTube channel and watch these. The second point, now I'll kind of continue on through the video, is he says that that if they were to explain each battle, it would take 10 hours in the stream. I don't think that's true at all. I think judges, when they do get on a call, they do a great job at literally explaining the run in 1 to 2 sentences. Like, hey, this guy missed this zone. It does not take, it doesn't take long at all, especially easy battles where you're like, okay, this guy dropped 2 tires off on this part of the course, therefore we gave the other guy the win because that was a big enough deduction. That's all you have to say. But
even one more times, it could be like, yo, these guys ran a tight battle together, or like they both boofed it really bad. Like, we're gonna have them run it back.
Yeah. So the biggest thing about explaining it is really the deciding factor. What was the deciding factor for your judges to go a certain way? In that way, someone new to the sport can be like, even if it's an obvious battle, they can be like, okay, I correlate. I saw that guy do an opposite drift. I saw that, and I was wondering if that was why. Okay, so now the judges told me, all right, that is why. Because the thing with the announcers is they always are playing both sides in a battle, so they're not helping explain it for the most part. They're usually...
Plus, from an announcer's perspective, you have to tread a line where, like, you cannot call something out unless you're 1,000% sure that that's what's going on, because people will freak out. And you also can't show favoritism. So if you were to you have to be really careful about, treading that water. Plus, we're not the ones making the call. Mm-hmm. So, occasionally I will see, I'll miss something, but also sometimes I'll just be like, oh, I didn't weigh that as heavy, that kind of thing. So I wonder if, to your point, Nate, sorry for interrupting you, but to your point, if they put the headset on a judge, just one for every battle, and be like, hey, we chose this person because this other person missed this zone and we thought this other person had a great lead. Thank you. And then the announcers can build off of that and go, you know what? That's a great point. If you look at here, da-da-da-da-da. I don't know.
It just to me, I don't think this is a good explanation for basically what I was saying earlier. No, obviously I love these guys. I love Jake. I love Robbie. I love both those guys. But I think that there are ways to do explainers after each run. There's tons of downtime. I mean, how many stories each round do we hear from the announcers about, oh, this random thing that has nothing to do with drifting?
Yeah.
Like there's always time Jared is going off on some tangent, and while a run is going down, by the way, personal pet peeve of mine, but while a run is
As
going,
they're about to initiate. And
yeah,
then...
they're now he's still talking about another story. I'm like, dude, they're driving. Let's get into the driving some. But like,
You're talking about
that's
how
that's
fucking
another topic. But the other thing,
Manoa is 14 years old.
yeah, but like the thing is there is time to do this, and it only takes literally 30 seconds to a minute to do it, and I think it would help the sport enormously,
Yeah.
especially for the new people, because like I said, no one that's new is going to go to YouTube, and like I said, it only does certain battles. It doesn't do all of them, and like the thing is like Sarah, for example, you were by someone new, I think in Utah, right? And you had to kind of explain,
Yeah.
the basics. And it's like they're not gonna do, like, FD is just assuming that everyone has the basics understood, and like the reality
Right.
is a lot of people don't, especially people that are interested. And if you're not sitting next to someone that knows what's going on, then you're just like, okay, cool, they're drifting or they're making smoke, but this guy wins. Cool.
Right. They were asking a lot, and it's hard because we're all super heavy fans at the end of the day. Even the people who run drifting at the highest level are fans of drifting. So it's hard to think about what we don't know. Does that make any sense? Like, to put ourselves in the perspective of someone who's never seen this before is incredibly difficult. Even when I was sitting next to that person trying to explain it, like I was explaining to someone who's never seen before, I was like, I'm trying not to make this high level, but it's hard. You like naturally want to go that way. I don't know. I mean, I wonder how many brand new to drifting people are attending like LZ World Tour, and if it's easier for them to understand. You think so?
Mm-hmm. I guarantee you, it's a. I don't know if it's brand new to drifting, but like there's a ton of people at those events, and then Gridlife is obviously not a comp, and there's a ton of new people that get introduced to what drifting is, but they don't understand the competition side. So
Right.
I think, again, the FD is the most widespread, and I think, in my opinion, I think Drift Masters does a better job slightly when it comes to explanations, but I mean it's not a ton better than FD. But again, it's one of those things where if you just like, for example, FD's on YouTube, literally anyone can watch it. So
Right.
if it just shows up on someone's timeline, like, what's this? Bunch of cars making smoke, and let's just say they like have a car timeline and they watch a bunch of car stuff, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, what's FD? And then they're like watching these cars go by, and they're like saying winners and stuff, and it's like, but why? Like,
I wonder. So
purple ad.
yeah, I wonder if you could add like a fan aspect into this, and you guys might hate this, but it's just popped into my head. So like in a situation where it's like gonna go one more time, I guess I'll just say it. We can make fun of how stupid it is. Where you're like not sure which driver should win. I wonder if like a fan poll and you just, well, the fans like this person more, kind of thing. If
Well,
that would help or hurt.
They basically do that already with
Really?
like, all right, make some noise. Like if you want this to happen, or if you want
Yeah.
Shanahan to win, if you want Dean to win,
Yeah.
you want to see him one more time, and the crowd.
When everybody loses their shit. Yeah.
You know when Jared's doing that shit, it's basically like, all right, it's a one more time. Like, it's you know that this motherfucker ain't calling this shit otherwise. Like, but yeah, no, like So I think that when that would be applicated, I think it would be in the same time that we already get the crowd roar.
I also wonder if they are making that video, like they clipped that part of his podcast to address like the fans of drifting. Like, are they talking to the angry fans of drifting? Like, hey, shut up, because you can just go.
I don't know. So, like, for example, like I know drivers also have issues because they don't get explanations for their battles.
I have heard that as well.
And that's another issue that I think that they're trying to talk to, and they're trying to put it on Reese to say, hey, he explains it here in the videos. Again, Reese doesn't go over every run, and like, it would be nice to get some explanation during the event. And I don't think it's too much to ask for to literally point out what was the deciding factor for this battle, you know? Like, and then at least that everyone has something instead of literally nothing, and then you have whatever the internet says,
Yeah.
you know? And it's
Right, and
like, for me, it's like, do you want just the internet to go wild, which
That's a
they
good
might want
point.
to, you know? They might want the
Pitchforks come
internet
out.
to literally go insane and just be like, hey, it's good for publicity, it's good, like, and the internet mad is good for publicity. Okay, it's not great publicity, but it's publicity, you know? So it's like, is that the angle they want to take? And the other reality is if they actually explain each battle, then they are liable for that, like, response too. So it's like, you know, not liable, but like, you get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
like then drivers can hold their feet to the fire and be like, yeah, you said this on this battle. What about this one? You know? And so I think the fact that they don't explain a lot of things is kind of leaves them out of the target or the crosshairs, but I don't think it's helpful personally.
Yeah. For
I
sure.
don't know. It's just I just saw that video and I was like, literally, it was direct. It seemed like just directly kind
you
of
think-
talked about what my issue was.
Do you think we had anything to do with that conversation?
No, absolutely not.
perpetuating it?
No,
Damn,
I
I
don't-
thought we were helping society. We're being part
Might
of the
have.
solution.
I mean, maybe.
Honest-
I mean,
you
I'm
never
friends
know.
with them, but it's like but like, let's be honest here. Like, they got bigger fish to fry. But it's like,
They
but
come
it
into
but
your
it
live
gave
stream
me a
during
great
the day.
opportunity to kind of explain my side to even what their rebuttal would be. You know, it's
Right.
like, I don't like that. I don't like their answer, even though it may not be the direct answer or the direct response to my question. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's good that they're actually having this conversation, that they put it out into the world and put it on the internet. I think that's good for
Yeah.
helping the sport of drifting in general.
Yeah, I mean, like, Hugh over here is like, I think judging explanations have gotten much better the last couple of years, especially in DMEC, and that's what I was saying. Is like, DMEC is definitely better at explaining things than FD is, for sure.
I love Hugh Jangle. Love you, sir.
It's a
Your
great.
name is fantastic.
I also love Hugh Jangle.
Yeah. So Phil's like, I agree with y'all. The only counter I could think of is it being too dumbed down. For example, if during a football game they explained a touchdown, would the fans be like, what the fuck, you know? And it's like, I don't think the point is like, especially obvious battles, you literally are just like, yeah, this guy's zeroed on this corner, which therefore gives what's his face the win. It's like,
And to be fair,
you
on the football analogy, like, for instance, when the Eagles do the brotherly shove, the announcers get on it and they explain, like, okay, this is a weird and different play. Here's why it's good. Here's why it doesn't work. Other people can't do this. Da da da. This is why it's like, they explain it. They get into it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Didn't ban it yet.
they didn't.
No.
They better not.
Yeah, well, that's all that. I mean, they didn't. They can't win with it. So. I mean,
Oh my God! Stop!
I
Don't hurt me.
Me too.
Oh yeah, but I don't know. It was one of those things where I was like, you know, I have some points on it, so let's bring her up and but yeah, man, I like I said, main goal always for this channel, for my general feeling towards the sport of drifting, is literally to grow it, and this is, in my opinion, one of the best ways to do it. So
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, and I guess that's kind of hit all my points that I wanted to talk to for the show. If you guys got any other final statements or anything that you guys wanted to quick hit up before we head out.
I like to blurt mine out while we're talking about other topics and just derail the whole show. So
yeah, you're really good at that. So
thanks.
It's a good
Yeah,
time.
I've pretty much hit everything that I've thought of. But shout out to Boundless Racing.
What
Why?
they do?
Brandon Gardner's just started his official company opened today. His website, Boundless.
Congratulations,
What is
sir.
it? Do we know what it offers?
He will help you build a turnkey simulator.
All right. All right. Maybe I should probably hit him up then.
Yeah, maybe he could help me with my lack of computer.
Literally anything, really. And then like also like he offers a Discord that's, I think, like for the premium one is I think $7 a month, which every Friday he does a live interview, which is recorded with a professional, either sim driver or drifter, whatever,
Cool.
and then offers every month a different 5 cars for like a car pack, and then just different technical videos of like how to properly set up your cars and stuff like that. Yeah, so
Sick.
shout out to that motherfucker.
Hell yeah, dude.
No
Shout
ad
out-
at all, but like
shout-
Brandon Gardner, you I don't even know if he's still here, but
He's talking
yeah,
about the ads on the screen under your guys'.
I like the ads on the webcams. Herbie,
You guys can't see it. You got to watch the actual live stream. You can see it. I got your Instagram handles.
Oh,
on there.
at Herbie Media.
Oh,
Nice.
neat. I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got it up down here for the comments, so I don't miss anybody's comment.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say my Streamlabs on my laptop or on my phone was fuck MSI, so I mean,
Yeah.
which I mean I hate to say that because I really love their graphics cards, but goddamn, the laptop pissing me off.
Took
Oh,
a hard
man.
stand on the last stream, my brother.
Yeah,
pissing me off.
That was a good. It was fun times. But honestly, though, I appreciate everyone hanging out.
Yeah.
We had some fun. There was all kinds of different drift events going on this weekend, and it was a good time
All
to
wet,
kind of
literally all wet.
Yeah.
all of them.
Oh,
had
not Laguna.
Laguna was
Sorry,
okay.
All right,
Laguna
but
was nice.
we can't. I
You gotta remember.
can't
California.
consider that a drift event.
Right, because it's just an exhibition. Good point.
Yeah, but
I'll
like
take-
the reality is, I think LZ's World Tour really has a different perspective on how to do a drift event. And it's something that if you guys haven't watched it, I think it's super fun to just kind of see what they do. Because it's really not like any other drift event that I've seen before, and it's a lot of fun. And I just wanted to make sure they get that shout out because it's really impressive what Dave and Adam have really put together, honestly. But yeah, I mean that's really all I got from myself. And it's still an hour and a half show, even though we were still moving through these topics, and I appreciate everyone
Yeah.
hanging out. Honestly, you guys in the
It's a
chat have
good
been
Tuesday
awesome.
night.
Did,
and
Dave drive?
what's up?
Did Dave drive?
Yep, Dave
You know?
drove, had a good time.
Hell yeah.
Um,
Hell yeah.
But I did want to do one other thing, and I did ask in the chat, which would you rather go to? The LZ World Tour, LZ World Tour event. I didn't specify which one, or a Gridlife Midwest or Gridlife Festival, and it was 70-30 for the LZ World Tour, which kind of shows to you, it's a small-ish sample size, but still, it's like it shows that what kind of event they're putting on. It's really cool to see. So
It's because it's drifting focused, whereas a grid life is more like
right,
like someone said it was
Having a party.
Forza,
Yeah.
right? So it's like there's
Yeah,
road
yeah.
racing, there's a concert, there's drifting, there's all this cool stuff. This is like a drift exhibition event, which is really, really dope, and I'm glad it's happening because it's perpetuating the sport of drifting. We love that.
yeah. Phil, final question. What about Dave retirement from announcing? He's not retired. I wouldn't say he's retiring. I just think he's not the official announcer for Drift Masters anymore. You'll still hear him on the mic from time to time in different scenarios.
I wonder if
Man,
he's gonna drive.
I love his face though.
Yeah, he's good to listen to.
I am gonna miss him
He's
though. Like honestly,
he's such a goober.
he's
Yeah.
awesome. Honestly, he's a
He
great guy
is.
to hang
He's-
out with too. If you guys ever get to meet him, super fun guy.
I've never gotten to meet him.
He's
Only online.
He's a riot, dude.
That's it.
He's awesome though. Great guy to work with. And honestly, I wish him best of luck because I am pretty sure he wants to, start pushing himself driving. And
That's awesome.
more power to him. I mean, honestly, I think that's what he's always wanted to do. But
Yeah, that's where the fun is.
But
Yeah.
now, when you put such an amazing program together and you've kind of, work things out to where you can, sustain your own self with a nice car and drive, like that's such a cool scenario. I mean, that's kind of the dream for pretty much anyone, in this sport where you have your own business and it's able to fund, or you get enough sponsors and you're able to fund and go have fun, So
Yeah.
Yeah,
shout out to
nobody
him.
buys a $250,000 Super not to compete is correct, Malik.
I'm just saying it has not been confirmed, but you're probably right.
Yeah,
we,
no,
we can
he-
speculate on here. This is like the speculation capital of the world on this
Yeah.
live pod.
Yeah, that's true. But all right, guys, I appreciate again everyone hanging out. And
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, we'll see everyone next.